Hi, my name's Aaron. I'm presenting Pulse, which is an app for corporate users that want to get a pulse on their brand in the market. So essentially what this app does is it scours the web for all the news that has been published for a predetermined time frame that you define yourself. And it will then break down the sentiment for those articles to tell you what percentage of the coverage your brand is receiving is positive and what percentage of the sentiment you're receiving is negative. So, so if we were to type in, for example, right here, say we're looking at IBM, and we wanted to look back from today and back 30 days, we can go ahead and get the pulse. All right. So what you see first is you see the positive sentiment for the coverage associated with your brand. And what you're seeing here is you'll see 63% of your coverage is positive. But it's not saying of all the articles that have been released about your brand, it's saying 63% of the coverage that's either positive or negative is positive, right? So I'm excluding all of the neutral sentiment articles, okay? And right below this, you can also see 5 articles that are the top 5 positive sentiment articles based on LinkedIn shares, okay? So let's say we wanted to look at one of these, right? I can click on this. It will take me to this article so I can get more details on that piece of news. Right? You can go ahead, scroll through this, do what we'd like. But I'm going to go back to the app for now. So now let's say I wanted to look at the negative sentiment coverage. If I click on the sad face down here, that takes me to the same view with the same kind of information that we saw before. Now, let's say that so one of the things about this app is that it stores your recent queries on local storage. So if you want to get updated information after you've opened up your app after not using it for a while, you can just press this refresh button right here, and it will go and fetch the data for the same query that you last had. Okay? But now let's say I want to look at another query that I've looked at in the past. So we can go and click on the book right here, and this will take me, it'll show me some of the past searches that I have. So let's say I'm concerned about Amazon. If I do a long press on the Amazon search here, it's going to go ahead and pull the Amazon articles. Okay? The same views as before. And maybe I want to delete my history. So we can go back over there, delete, and maybe I want to search again. So I'll click on the magnifying glass, and I can go ahead and put another search. Now, one of the things about this app is that it will always store the very last query that you queried. So you'll see this View Last Pulse button, and that will take me to the last thing. But I've deleted all my searches, too, right? And it will take me to the last view that I looked at. So last time, before I went to the search, I was looking at my bookmarks, or my history. But the last thing I searched is still here, right? So I'm looking at Amazon, like I did last time, right? So I can go ahead, search again. It will store that search. And that's that. So that's my Stackathon. Actually, it's not my Stackathon. I want to show you one other thing. So to show you how this works, on the front end, I used Redux. I used React Native. And I also used a component library that was called the native base. So I did that for state management and state persistence, as well as for the nice UI that you saw before. And when you query, what it's doing is it's querying an Express server that I have deployed on Heroku that makes the request to the Aylien News API where I'm getting all of that information you saw. So that manages the payload the server that receives the response manages the payload that's being sent to the front end, so it's not getting overwhelmed with information. So that's how the app works, and that's my Stackathon.